The Salutatorian is the graduating senior with the second highest grade point average in the class. It is with great pleasure that I introduce the Salutatorian of the class of 2014, Miss Lindsey Wynn.
Thank you, Mr. Allen, for those kind words. Welcome, family, friends, and guests, to tonight's commencement ceremony held at Deptford Township High School. Thank you for joining us as we celebrate and reflect our hard work over the past 4 years within a mere 1 to 2 hours. I say this in particular to tell you how amazed I am at how brief celebration can be, but everything must come to an end, right? So, most of you guys got to know me over the years, while others haven't seen me at all in your lives. Well, to those of you who haven't, I'm here to tell you that it's not too late. Hi, my name is Lindsey, and for the next few minutes, or what will be the longest of your final moments in high school, I will be in control. Haha. Oh, before that, let's take a class selfie. Let's get the administrators in that too, right? So, let's begin, shall we? Now, first things first, as much as we hate to admit it, we all know we would not be here if it wasn't for the support and guidance from our teachers, advisors, family, and friends. And guidance counselors too. There's a quote that perfectly sums this up, and that is, teachers would not have jobs without their students. Okay, this is a quote I made up, but it should be one because the point of it is that life is a two-way street. We take from others what we later give back to another. Teachers, you were there for us. Well, because that's your job. What makes your relationship so special, however, is that you saw beyond the financial worth of your occupation. You saw that we needed help. So for the days that we were stuck on that one problem, whether it be calculus or Shakespeare, you were patient enough to stay after school, clearing up whatever was needed to allow us to just pass your tests the next day. And for that, we are grateful. Guardians, there are not enough words to show how special you are to us. Although you couldn't be there physically with us throughout our days in school, no matter how much we begged our freshman year, you were there for us emotionally. For the days when we were rejected or failed at something miserably, you were the ones who advised us not to quit, but to get back up and try again. For that, we stand in front of you today as living proof that one of your advices finally worked. Friends, you are the reason why high school was bearable. From the first day we stepped onto the halls of Deptford, you were there right alongside us, cheering for new adventures to come. Some of you are even here sitting with us today as we prepare to graduate. But what makes our bond so strong is that you allow awkward moments, like this speech, to seem ordinary. What makes it even more special is that just like high school, you're going to make college bearable. And for that, we are forever touched. And how can I forget about the administrators? You make the rules we all abide by, keeping shorts fingertip length, PDA at its minimum, and many others I cannot name off the top of my head. But overall, you've kept this school in function, and for that, we thank you and wish you another successful year. Now, let me switch it up by bringing you guys back to the days when this Rubik's Cube was relevant. Unlike some, yet like many, I was obsessed with this puzzle growing up, although I still don't know how to solve it. I truly believe this is how our lives are like, jumbled and chaotic. Through this chaos, however, we are still able to find our own identities that we have come to reveal throughout high school. Looking back on freshman year, we all can relate that we were the frightened students trying to fit in with the crowd. Now look at us, confident and laid back. We no longer rush to get to class, but instead get the thrill of being late. Going back to this Rubik's Cube, our freshman year was like this, messed up and colorful. We had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. In fact, we might have just cared a little bit too much as the 14, 15-year-olds we were. Cut to sophomore year, we started caring a little bit less and began preparing ourselves to become upperclassmen. Junior year then sneaks around, and boy, what a year. Things start to become a bit more clear, with majors somewhat declared and colleges picked out for the following year. What really topped off that year, however, was the day when we passed that test at the DMV. Everything no longer mattered because ultimately we could drive. Now, for those of you who already drive, it's no big deal because you have so many other things to be excited about, but trust me, it was a huge deal. It not only gave us more freedom, allowing us to finally grasp what it really felt like to be 18, but we no longer needed to be those awkward underclassmen convincing our coaches to wait 5 more minutes because our parents were right around the corner to pick us up. We could come and go whenever we wanted. Finally, senior year comes along and this happens. Just give me 1 second. This might take a while. I'm guessing you thought I was going to solve this cube, but I'm not. This might just be from my account, but I know for a fact that senior year was more chaotic. And for those of you who went through the process of filling out college applications, I think you can understand. It is recommended that we know what we're going to be doing in the next 4 years. Clear as how this Rubik's Cube should have been solved. But the reality of it is that 4 years is not enough. In fact, the next 4 years in college may not be enough either, which is why I'm going to leave this puzzle unsolved, because that is how our lives were meant to be, unsolved. We're always going to have to face challenges and overcome them, but life isn't based around the fact that it needs to be solved. The purpose of living is actually to go where it leads you to, whether it be here in Deptford or somewhere far off in another country. Life is where you make it happen, with college or a career being a start. Now you guys are probably looking at me thinking, when is she ever gonna finish? And I'm not gonna go on with the usual cliches like, let's begin our lives, it's a fresh start. Because guys, our lives have begun ever since we were born. Life does not start because the cycle of 4 years has passed, but rather every day we breathe and make the foolish decisions that shape who we are. If you were to take something out of my speech today, take this. We must cherish these moments to prevent what our parents are thinking now. Where has the time gone? Although it may just be our high school graduation, with how swift time is, we may be the ones sitting on those bleachers reflecting on our time here, looking at our children graduate. So despite how we started from the bottom, let's just enjoy our time being ourselves during our prime years. Let's not define our lives by the usual cliches life throws at us, because honestly, the grass is greener where you water it. So take this time now to really take in what's in front of you guys. The 4 years we ran those laps to complete the mile in gym, wishing for this day to come, is finally here. All our efforts are finally being paid off, so enjoy it. Most importantly, remember this day for what it is and not what it was. Thanks for bearing with me, and ultimately, congratulations to us all, the class of 2014.